All right, Pastor Joseph here with your Thursday Throwback. And last night we talked about the resurrection. We said if Jesus was just a good man, then he wasn't the God man. If Jesus was not the way to the Father, that he was just a dead end. That if Jesus was not the truth, then he was just a good teacher. And if Jesus was not risen from the dead, then we have no hope of life, because he claimed to be the way, the truth, and the life in John 14:6. We also said that if the resurrection never happened, then our faith is in vain. 1 Corinthians 15:14 says, "And if Christ has not been raised, then our preaching is in vain, and your faith is in vain." See, everything hinges on the resurrection. So with that context in mind, let's go to our question. When you talk about the importance of Jesus' resurrection, are you talking about a physical resurrection? Or is it about how his spirit/soul, whatever, was cleansed of the sin he took on for us? Let me address the second portion of the question first. Jesus was not contaminated by our sin. He bore the wrath for our sin. That part of the question is maybe a misunderstanding. Jesus bore the wrath of God that would have been poured out on us. But let's address the first part. When you talk about the importance of Jesus' resurrection, are you talking about physical resurrection? Yes. The fact that Jesus rose from the dead was God's approval on his life, and that his sacrifice on the cross was acceptable, that it was paid in full. The importance of that resurrection is that we can have new life because of what Jesus has done. It proves that he beat death, hell, and the grave. So I hope that answers your question. It was a physical resurrection, and that physical resurrection was the proof that he lived a perfect life, that his sacrifice was acceptable to God, and that you and I can have life through Jesus. Hope that answers your question. God bless. We'll see you next week.